Hey yo, it's Lyarrah, and today you join me back over here on Create SMP, where there seems to be a problem behind me. Whoops, did we accidentally turn the... Oh gosh, I hope there's not a ton of them standing on the nether side. I only have 10 arrows. I need to go steal some flint. Oh wait, these guys will sell me arrows. They're Fletchers. Power 2... whole bunch of arrows. Okay, maybe not that many, but thanks for doing business with me. And now we pillar up nice and safe and start taking them out. I'm thinking we either need to move the portal or the villagers. For the record, we're looking at 31 entities right here, right now. I'll find out how many are there after. How many of them are there though? Like, accidental iron farm for the fail. I'm glad that shooting one of them does not seem to aggro the others. Okay, so it sounds like JC only just put the fence around there, and they probably had gone through to the other side and only gone back through to this side once JC went over there. I'm thinking there's no longer a way for them to get in since, you know, that's only a 1.5 block gap that it can walk through there. Hopefully none of them were able to go back through. Oh right, I said I was going to check how many we had now. We're down to 22 entities. There was at least 9, probably more like at least a dozen golems in there. Well, what I originally wanted to bring you over here to see before that chaos emerged is that I am now at level 36 thanks to trading with the villagers. Plus, we also have a lot of emeralds because this is only like a third of them. So we can start getting some villagers that have some other useful things like books. And yes, I know I don't need all the tools and stuff in Create, but I still could use some good armor, you know? I'm me. I'm gonna keep falling off things. So at some point soon, we're gonna move these villagers out of there and on into the village. I don't know exactly what we're doing with them, but we've got plenty of space. Sorry, trying to figure out how to get through these crops. Plenty of space to set them up over here. And people already know to stay away from this area with bad omen. So, you know, we're not introducing villagers to a new area. So I think tonight on stream, I'm gonna build a nice area for the Fletcher squad and for a few librarians as well, and get them scooted over. All right, so there was a few incidents along the line, but we have a very basic place that the Fletchers can trade out of now, and 3 out of 4 Fletchers are in here. We did not take the 4th before because I needed to wait for them to actually breed more villagers first, which they have. And since JC's been online while I haven't been, looks like they've bred even more, and also the babies have grown up. So that's awesome. The last Fletcher that we actually want should be the one that is inside of the minecart right now. So this is just going to be a matter of probably waiting for nighttime so that the rest of these guys will all go into the bed, maybe? I'll figure it out. The idea is basically this way I can get the Fletcher out of here and still have villagers left over for a breeder. Your friends would get off the track. It would make life much easier. Seriously, it's a train track. Get off of it. I can't punch them because they've got golems around. Well, they were off the track for a second there. There we go. So now at least you're on this end. That works. That wasn't exactly how I wanted that to work, but that did work. Pushy, pushy, push, push, push. Oh, I don't think I even have this ready for you. No, I do not. There. There we go. And now all 4 of our Fletchers are lined up and safe in here. Nothing real fancy, just kind of vaguely tried to copy the village style while using some different materials and making sure it's, you know, baby zombie safe. But I gotta figure out what else we want, and I think that we want some masons, and we probably want a smelting station next to the masons so people can just come and throw piles of cobblestone onto it and get stones to trade with the masons that way. I've realized that I did not give my Fletchers their tables, period, so they have no means of resetting their trades right now. That's an oops. And I guess I'll be back to you guys with some stone cutters in a minute.
So, what we're looking at?
Hey, I got some of the traders set up.
Oh,
We got stick guys.
ooh, full Fletcher.
Yep,
That's
full
fascinating.
Fletchers.
Oh, and they got string too.
Yes,
Dude, we can
so
fetch string from the mob farm.
exactly. And then I was trying to figure out what else we should put up, and I realized I should put up a spot with masons that has a smelter built into the side of it, like that we can
Oh
just throw
yeah,
our
we can.
cobblestone onto.
Yeah, we totally could have that.
I just
Wait
don't
a
know where to
minute.
put it. What?
I mean, really, this village is getting scrapped for parts anyway, so just wherever you feel like. And cobblestone generators and like the smelty boys, they're easy enough to make.
We could just have it, you know, fed with a eternal smelter. I didn't want to
Yeah, but
do iron tradey guys because I feel like the iron, we don't want
no,
to
the iron's
encourage
a little
people to
bit
use
too
up the
slow
iron.
for that, but also like
Yeah.
masons though. Let's just get masons.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the other hand, we will maybe want the iron trady boys because blacksmiths trade diamond tools.
True. We may still want a toolsmith or two at least, or
But then
or
again,
maybe the
diamonds
armor
are kind of
guys.
abundant since we can have like autonomous drills.
Oh yeah, as soon as I have
So
fortune, I have so many diamonds I've left behind in a tunnel also.
oh dang. Yeah, okay, then we better focus up on getting emeralds to get mending books because that's the one thing we cannot get without them.
Yes, which I figured if we wanted to get any other books, then Unbreaking's probably the other one to actually worry about. And maybe Featherfall. Maybe.
That's I mean
But I'm just saying we don't
but-
want to get a ton of librarians. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, we generally don't want to get a lot of villagers, but at the same time, I'm just here thinking we will have an andesite generator eventually.
Yeah.
And you know, because how you can get all sorts of blocks from cobblestone generator. So you get andesite, granite, diorite. We could put together the mason facility right now for just stone, and then eventually move it to where the full all stone types generator is gonna be.
We can, but that also depends on where we want to put that generator. Because
also
I
that,
say
yes.
we keep all the villagers over here and away from the town site, so that we only have one area that we have to worry about bad omen.
Yeah,
in.
that's true. Yeah, let's keep the entities. The amount of lag at the town site is going to be immense anyway. So we better keep it a little bit simpler here. Good call.
Yes. Where do we put some masons then is the question.
I mean, I want to say like a street across to maximize like
Just
right
tear,
here.
tear down this and put it right here. Yeah. We can do
Yeah,
that.
just all of them facing that way, so that when you come in, you kind of have like you go here or you go here. You don't have to go lateral.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh
One
my
side or the
God,
other. Which
what is?
that is a braced log. There we have chipped on this, so there's these workstations that you can do things like, it's like carpenter workbench, mason workbench, botany workbench. I think. I don't know. That's where I got these really cool versions of stone from too.
Oh really? I thought that was just chisel. Oh, I gotta look into that.
Oh, and we do have one other villager.
Oh.
This is Connie. She escaped, so she's on bread duty now.
Amazing. Oh wow, and she takes cabbage as well. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Farmer's Delight integrated itself into the villager stuff.
Oh yeah, it took me forever to convince her to buy anything but tomatoes.
Oh, that's sad.
It is.
All right,
But-
so
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and get started on a little masonry building. Oh god, I came over here because it was time to recruit some masons, and I think that we definitely have enough beds in town. Hi guy, how you doing? Okay, well, let's start recruiting you guys. Oh right, you buy clay first, not stone first. I can go get some emeralds. That's fine. That's very fine. But that also tells me that I may not want to worry about, you know, assigning you any jobs until we've actually gotten out of here. That to me says that we're setting all 5 of these stone cutters back in here. And we're going to be running... Oh, this is going to be fun. Alright, and Birdie is our first volunteer, so we will push them right along here. There you are. There's your workstation. And next, everyone else is asleep. You know what that means, Landon? There's nobody in the way for me to not push you out of here. Close that off behind us. All right, everybody in place. We've got 5 of them. Every single one of them buys both clay balls, which we shouldn't trade to them, and stone, and then trades us bricks, and will eventually trade us some form of quartz, because that is what they do. Now to dig underneath them and do the part that I should have done first. Luckily they have a stone floor, so I shouldn't dig into them on accident. Shouldn't is a key word there, though. So I've been down here racking my brain over how I'm going to get stone from down here, where it's going to be being cooked from cobblestone, to up there. And I realized I can just use the good old standby, same idea that we did at the other places, of it going straight into a storage controller, though in this case it's going to be via a brass funnel that is locked to stone only. Oh, you need to go the other way. There we go. Now that's gonna work. Now I just gotta do, you know, the actually functional part of this whole arrangement. There we go. Finally got it blowing instead of sucking. That is amazing. Oh, this is going the wrong way now, though. Darn it. There. Now we gotta go in the right direction. Alright, so we got some real safety third sensibilities going on in here. And I just realized I don't even know for sure if... Ow, 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 ow. Yeah, so it didn't start... I just roasted something to death over there. That chute. I just burnt that chute to death. Yeah, how am I supposed to get stuff out onto here is my question. Oh no, I think I see what I have to do and I don't like it. Alright, so we have, ow, ow, ow. Moved beyond like safety third sensibilities and moved into safety like 17th sensibilities here. We need a good warning hot sign on here. Mind you, this is getting sealed off and hopefully never even accessed again as soon as I actually verify it works. I should actually verify it works. Oh, that's a problem. That's going to need to be a brass funnel so it can put out whole stacks at a time. But it is working at least. Not more electron tubes, no. There we go. Brass funnel collected. Brass funnel was needed not, let's pull that lava out of there. Brass funnel was needed not because I need a filter on it. It very much does not need a filter. The brass funnel is there so that the cobble will come out in full stacks instead of, or I guess full 16 since it's coming from the chutes, but it'll get processed a lot faster than if it was just coming out in ones like the andesite funnel is doing. So now I should be able to come over here to Piggy's cobblestone farm, steal a couple stacks. Oh, hey, it automatically turns off. Good. Put these on into here. They'll come out on the belt. They get smelted up. I guess I need to multiply the power of that fan a bit. That's a bummer. So I guess I have to get back there and rearrange that until the fan's more powerful. Joy. All right. Now there is going to be something holding the lava in. So we will not have another one of those incidents. So let's very carefully put our lava in, pick back up this cobble, shove the cobble back into here so the experiment's accurate. Why isn't it working? Why did it only work on some of it? Alright, hopefully that's going to fix it. So I've scooted this up over here with some more trims so that it's reading the end of the fan particles. We're putting that there. We're putting our cobble back in here again. And we're hoping it works this time. Okay, so the first one went. Now what about the rest? Okay, that took forever to do, but it did eventually go, and it did eventually come through, which means that it is finally time to seal back up this floor and never think about this again. Alright, so that is done. We have all of our emerald friends set up and ready to go. I am not dealing with librarians today, so I believe that's time to do something about the fact that the food in my hand is... well, the last couple slices of watermelon I chopped earlier. So I've been making some upgrades to the Cheesecake Factory. For one, we now have rich soil for both the wheat and the berries to grow on. I don't know if it actually changes anything with the berries, but with the wheat it should, and I think it has, because we seem a little bit backed up on the wheat side now. I also have gone ahead and put a filter so that this can only allow the flour through, and any seeds will be kept inside here. That will eventually fill up, but that is a very far eventually, as you can see from the ratio of seeds compared to flour that's come through. So my final task has been figuring out how we go from solid cake to slices of cake. And I was scared I was going to have to do all this stuff with the deployer and knives, and I have to have a storage thing of knives to keep that thing stocked. But fortunately, Create has an answer for me, and it's a single item. Yes, there is a slicer, and it just slices items that come past it. This is incredibly handy. It'll be very useful for regular food stuff as well, for, you know, cabbage or cutting burgers down into hamburger, etc. So for the slicer, all I have to do is figure out where I want it to be, which I think is right here. Then figure out how I'm hooking it up to power, which shouldn't be horrible. Turn that way, put a shaft there, put a shaft that... You're kidding me, right? That is one thing too far. I mean, I guess I can just take down a single one of these gear shifts. Nothing's stopping me from doing that. We only have one gear shift in the whole thing, though. Okay, is there any reason this can't run at half this speed? Absolutely none. Cool. Oh god, I just realized this is going to reverse what direction this goes in. This could become an explosion very quickly. Okay, we're going to break this. We're going to put that back, and we're going to observe. Okay, that is rotating that is clockwise. That is clockwise. So we need to rearrange this in a way that it is still rotating clockwise. That is counterclockwise. That is clockwise. Okay. It's not pretty, but it's going the right way. The whole thing's running half the speed now, but that should let me hook the slicer up to the whole thing and not overstress it. Ta-da! And now we'll just go ahead and grab a brass funnel out of here and slap it onto there. I'm gonna bring the cakes out, and it's gonna... Oh my gosh, it's gonna do these as like whole stacks at a time, isn't it? Well, as a result, it did not actually slice the... Alright, I guess we have to put an andesite funnel instead so that they come out one at a time. No. Is it not? Oh. Never mind, it's that the slicer's not rotating. The irony. Okay. There we go, now it's spinning fast enough. It's still pretty aesthetic. And that should mean that I can put the brass funnel on there after all, and this will cut, like, whole stacks at once, maybe? No. Still not on that. Please actually work. Don't have been for nothing. No! The slicer doesn't understand how to cut these cakes. I am gonna have to put them onto a cutting board with a deployer. No! Oh, that is tragic. Okay, so apparently I just failed to read the instructions properly. I'm sure half of you have left comments about this by now already. I have to give it knives first. I have to actually hand the thing the knives for it to be able to cut. So we're gonna do that real quick. Which, since it does use up the durability on the knives, I am gonna have to have a little store of extra knives above it. But I can't imagine the cake outputting fast enough for, you know, us to ever run out of knives the same way that that's not ever going to fill up with seeds. Put that on there, put a few more knives into it. That should last us a while. Okay, now at long last, this should work. And I am putting the andesite funnel on it, not the brass one. for the time being, just so that I can enjoy watching them sliced one by one. Yes! All right. We finally figured it out, peeps. Now, once this is done, or once I get tired of watching it go, then I will switch this out for brass for the aesthetic of it. But we have our auto slice cake coming out of here, and that means that I'll get to start having just that. I'll finish off this grilled salmon first, but as soon as I'm done with it, we are on an all cake diet. Now, you may be wondering what this other one is coming out of here too. I am hoping that it will kind of alternate which side it drops them out of, and that we can get a supply of cakes to the upstairs as well, because this is where I want to go ahead and put a restaurant. That's right, I'm going to have like a cute little cafe area, which is actually going to be much bigger than I thought. Like, looking at this whole thing's a bit bigger than I think it is. But I'll have the cakes popping up to here, maybe being transported further over there so that I don't have to have it run this whole way. Or maybe I'll put the kitchen over on this side. You know what? Yeah, that would make sense. I'll put the kitchen on this side of the upstairs. And what I need to do is also get a staircase going here to get customers to the upstairs. And, you know, just generally design the lobby and the outside of the building and everything, which this is about to be the biggest building project I've undertaken in a while. So let's make sure replay mod's running and let's figure things out. You ever procrastinate so hard you just build an extra farm? Yeah, so apparently I did not want to build yet so badly. No, I joke, but in all honesty, terracotta is just a material that I don't know how to build without, pretty much. Especially not in the kinds of styles that we're going to be doing on this server. So I decided that I really just wanted to go ahead and get that fixed. So what we have here is, first of all, some barrels that I'm dumping in the cobble that I got from my drill. Yes, I can just put a cobble generator up here. I will at some point, but I'm not sure that this has enough power left over to run the drills, and I don't have the patience to build a bigger system right now, so it's going to stay as is. We start up here. I eventually am going to put an actual cobblestone generator on here, but I have over 20,000 cobble from the drills, so I've just been loading it up with arm loads of it. That is going through 2 sets of crushing wheels. The first set of crushing wheels turns that into gravel. The gravel then gets turned into sand. The sand comes along here, and mind you, there's also a chance that it will output flint or clay balls. As that gravel in the back's about to come through as sand. There we go. Clay balls, sand, and flint. The flint got taken by that. The clay balls got taken by this one. If you see the label right there on it. And then the sand is being washed by a fan back there into also being clay balls with a 25% chance. So overall, about 30% of the time, cobble will get turned into a clay ball. Clay balls go into there, they get compacted by the smasher, they pop out onto this one, and I will not step onto that one because caution, hot, and that turns them into a terracotta. And the whole thing is powered by this boiler here. I do think I'm going to shorten up this a little bit, just because we never wind up filling up the whole thing here, this whole... But so now I have 2 things that I need to put buildings around. Well, actually, no. 3 things, because I've also got the limestone factory. Oh, we are just not defeating the procrastination allegations here. One thing I do want to take a second to point out, though, is how small of scale you actually can be and still have it be industrialized here in Create. Because look, our limestone generator that's only 4 wide, that has produced 53,000 limestone. I do not foresee the whole server using that. The cake factory, Already approaching an entire barrel full. It's running off 3 berry bushes and this size of a field. Okay, and Zoe coming out here with a ton of bone meal for no good reason. And this terracotta farm is running off of what's going to be just 2 drills worth of space itself. I don't know, I just feel like they are all relatively compact. Once again, a set of blocks have walked into my life that make me question all my life choices and completely regret my palate taste. However, I've realized that this specific time, Create might have my back and I might not be looking at such a rare material after all. Can I wash you and turn you into mud that way? Been here for like 20 seconds wondering if it's been long enough to fan yet, when finally it occurs to me, oh right, I can just look up in here how to get these things. We can mix dirt with water as opposed to washing. That is considerably easier than vanilla mechanics. I still question whether or not I should. This lack of a time lapse. That is because we are going for checking in with you peeps throughout it instead, because really I have just had so many stops and starts and changes of plan while I've been trying to figure out what I want to do with this place, that trying to put it into a cohesive time lapse was just not going to happen. What we have got, I have settled on some bricks mixed with some umber bricks and some brick variations for the primary building. I haven't really texturized it much yet, so don't worry about that. We have, for the lobby here, honey blocks surrounded by brass casing. I think they look good together. I think this has a nice kind of lobby feel to it. And then we head up the stairs to just a plain dark oak up here. I may put brass casings around the edges, but I'm gonna wait till I know what the edges actually look like up here first. I figured the honey blocks, while I love them as a linoleum, are just a little bit too busy to put as everything up here. So if they get used up here at all, they're gonna get used for this little area back here, which is like gonna be the employee coffee, make coffee area. Speaking of making things, I may hide a little bit of a workshop back in here because it works best to just square off the building, and I don't know what I'm doing with the space otherwise. I am planning on kind of a lower roof on this side that then collides with a taller roof there. Probably going to be about that tall up there. I'm not sure exactly. And I actually had the roof shaped to be this way as a peak, but now that I'm looking at the building, it's much longer that way than this way, so I think that it'll be like and then up there, if that makes sense. These, by the way, mud pillars. I've had to set up a whole nother little crafting station just to quickly and efficiently make more dirt. This is just pumping water into it from over there, and I can throw dirt or anything else that mixes with water and turns into stuff into here. I don't even have any on me to demonstrate, but it will turn into mud. Other things that mix with water won't turn into mud, but there are other things that you get the point. So for right now, I'm going to finish getting the walls in, start knocking some holes out to put windows into, and I'll bring you back once I'm figuring out what I'm doing with the roof, because I don't even know what I'm making it out of yet. I've decided I want a lot more bricks, so I'm trying to decide what my best option here is to, like, think that I just want to take this off temporarily so that I can stock up all the clay. Yeah, and then I can throw it on the smelt. Okay, that's going to be my fastest option, I think, other than just building something new. My life on this server is a never-ending series of loading cobblestone into random machines. I return to you from the land of indecision, where I am trying to decide if I like this roof or not. I like the slope of it. It is exactly what I had in mind. I am just still on the fence about the material choice here. Because I thought I was going to really like the bricks for the shingle look of them, but I think they blend too much in with the edging that I put on here. I really don't know. But let me just update you on where we are. Obviously, most of it still hasn't been texturized like this side has. All of it will be texturized, and actually everything that is not ground floor is going to have windows covering a bunch of it. What am I saying? Even the ground floor is going to have windows on a lot of it, just not like covering every surface, you know? In fact, we need to pick a spot for the employee door. I think right here makes perfect sense. Yeah, that works. By the way, I also got Silk Touch on my diamond pick in the that stole my glass. Silk Touch on the diamond pick in the meantime. Mind you, I've not left myself a single way through this place that doesn't require hopping over at least one of the conveyor belts at this point. It definitely wound up a little more packed, especially on this side, than I meant it to. And up here, I think I've got a pretty good feel for the height that I want this to have. I still don't know which direction it's going to be peaked. I think it's going to be peaked this direction. So I don't know if I like it here or if I want to start it like one more down, but I want it to feel like this upper floor used to be a little bit of factory too. So I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and fill this area in after all, because I do think that on the bottom floor here, I want to put a mud maker just kind of tucked into the corner over here. I do have to remember that the floor below this just go through into a cave. And it makes a lot of sense from up here as well, because this is just a cute little spot I can tuck in, you know, like a cocoa maker or something. This may actually be too cramped to fit anything Create into. Like, as much as I would love to, it's a little bit too small. We'll see though, maybe I'll be able to. My next step, I guess, is figuring out what I'm going to do glass-wise about all these windows and where I'm putting them and etc, etc. Because I do not like that I am putting them on corners right here, but I feel like on the other hand, if I try to do just one wide windows, I'm not happy with them no matter where I put them. So I'm just going to hope for the best in terms of finding a good window that we like to put in here. After all, there are so many options in this mod. Look at the ones that Zoi's got up here. Look at that. He's got at least 2 different kinds on here, and I know that there's multiple others available out there. There's some more. See, we'll find an option that looks good and that helps the corners not look so cornery. Which, yeah, this may absolutely get changed as well. I forgot to ever go find that piece of glass. There we go, gotta grab that so it doesn't just plug up the system. Punching out windows and having to choose whether I'm lining it up with, like, the columns and stuff that exist on the building or trying to make it symmetrical. And I think the trying to make it symmetrical is going to win in the form of me also taking this pillar down, and I will find a different place to put a pillar along this side. It's going to need at least one more pillar to make it look structurally sound, but I think that I will be happier if I move all 3 of these over by 1. And then I guess that puts the pillar right about here ultimately. Yeah, that's much better. Now to replicate that on the other side. Okay, I'm sorry if I change my mind again later, but I've decided to go with actually a flat roof for the whole thing, not any kind of an arched one. This is giving me a lot more space to put in some extra windows and really kind of break up the wall as a result. Obviously the top one still needs texturized the way that the bottom one is. But I found these really nice arched windows, the arched leaded glass pillar. And these are connected textures both in 2 and 3 and whatever height you want them. So we've got the windows going up this side. We are going to go ahead and replicate that on the other sides. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to be able to put them on this side. Looks like I should still be able to fit one in here. But as far as up here, we should be good. We should be good for at least 3 of them. Ooh, that's a problem. That's roof right there. Okay, so no window there, sadly. Double check, that was a 2 gap on that side. Yeah, these windows are just like the nice combination of still simple, connected texture to it, but still gives some kind of decoration to the space. It also has the nice optical illusion of extra depth because you can only see the pattern from the one side here. So from both directions, it gives you just that kind of feel of, oh, this is a pane of glass instead of a whole block of glass. Now the interior, I don't think I'll be finishing up today. I think we'll be taking care of that along with whatever cocoa machine or whatever other little doohickeys we decide to stick in over here. They will be addressed at the same time as like maybe the building for the terracotta farm or something. I'm really grateful that Sloy put in this workshop. It means that I don't have to go all the way to JC's place anymore since I, you know, can't be bothered to set my own stuff up yet apparently. That's the carpenter's table. There we go. This is mason table. Click the bricks. We look for the small. That's these. We craft that whole 32. And then this one was the tiny, if I can type. But you can see how ridiculously many options there are for these brick blocks. I could not even begin to fathom what to do with all of it. I'm sure I will find some uses. Like this feels like it might be fun to use as a roof pattern at some point. The scales absolutely need to be used, but not the brick ones, something else. There's just so many options and it's just overwhelming. It's completely overwhelming. Okay, that's another 45-ish each, and then we still only have that many of the umber bricks, but I don't really want to have to make more scoria or scorchia, whichever one it is, in order to make more of the umber bricks. It's not that hard. I just taunt some sand and then bake the resulting soul sand. But it is just one more step, and I'm not gonna get into that tonight. Okay, so if I go ahead and do 2 windows here, where does that put a center window? Yay, it puts it in a logical place. We can keep the pattern the same the whole building around, which sounds boring, but is how these buildings were in real life, and I'm at least kind of going for realism. It's an addiction, peeps. Don't let yourself get into realism in Minecraft. You will never accomplish another thing that isn't Minecraft again. Ever. Ah, I messed it up. That's supposed to only be 1 block from the side over there. We gotta redo some of these windows. The outside just looked kind of weird and naked without something over here. So I'm begrudgingly putting in some 1-high windows since that's all that can fit above the roof. Let's go check and make sure that looks good from this side. Nah, I think we'll stick to the regular windows for that spot too. Ooh, or, hear me out. What if whole height window? What if whole height window? It might be too much window, but I'm willing to try. It just feels wrong still, and it's making me wonder if I don't feel like I need to lower those ones. Guess we'll just keep trimming these up until they feel right. I fully admit I'm normally more of a texture as you go person, but originally I was trying to record this for a time lapse. So, I was attempting at the time to just get things done quickly and orderly and then come back to do this part afterwards. And it just didn't work out like that. Had to take the regular ones off my hotbar entirely because I kept, you know, placing them instead. So I've got the texturing pretty much done, and I want to kind of see if doing windows down here makes sense at all or looks good at all. We can't do 3 highs over here, but we might be able to do 2 highs. Do we like that? I kind of like being able to see the glimpse of the inside of the factory. Like that's something good to me. So I think I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, I think we're gonna put some of that over on this side too then. Let's see, this is a weird number though. So let's do something like, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so I guess all that leaves is the roof. Let's go get that done. I'm in here starting to install the ceiling, except I apparently missed this whole quarter of the wall for texturizing. So if I forget to do that before the end of this episode, you guys gotta remind me. Well, I thought I was close to done, but I think that the top there both needs to be dropped down by a block, which doesn't make me too happy because it's going to lower the ceiling too. But I also think that it needs a stripe like this up there. So we're going to go ahead and make some more mud. And this time I actually get to show you. Oh, hey, I already have some waiting here too. There we go. I guess I can run off with this and get started. Well, thanks to Sly's little bone meal stunt, it looks like I was completely wrong about this filling up with wheat seeds. Oh, looks like I'm emptying this out somehow now. Come on, server, you can detect a farm leak anytime now and just delete all these out of existence. There we go. 2 of the barrels should be enough to get it going for a while again. Oh boy, I really hope that it getting caught in the combine there doesn't mean that it doesn't despawn. Okay, I'm feeling a lot better about that. We'll go ahead and see what this looks like with a layer of this around it, but I'm feeling pretty good about this. I think we're done. I think we're done. Okay, so we're gonna start from the inside and work our way out. So here we have the room that I'm gonna put whatever little hot cocoa or coffee or tea maker, whatever I can put in here to like be something that restaurant patrons can have alongside the cake, because this room is gonna be filled with cute little tables and make it a little cafe. Put some up against the windows over here. Maybe figure out how to make like a high bar stool so that I can put them against this window over here too. We've got railings so you can look down to the boiler. This is entirely because the boiler was too tall for the roof height that I wanted to have. We've got the lobby where you can pick up your to-go orders, and you can also watch the cakes being made. I also included a cute little window to watch them get sliced onto. The lower floor has these brass trimmed windows to kind of draw your eye in. I may decide that I only want the brass glass on the kind of bay window style one that I have for the berry bushes. I don't know. We'll see on that part. And if we back up, we can see the building as a whole. You can see the trim that I've put onto it. We went ahead and did the little baby windows there because it just looked too weird without it. I did not like the full length windows. And you can see even around the side and onto the back, we've got windows on it here. Just really wanted to make sure that the whole building was kind of tied together more cohesively. And I just kind of love the little glimpses you can get into the factory through here. Oh, and I went ahead and threw some shafts then to be like rain pipes just for a little bit of extra detail. I still want to come up with more little things like that. Maybe some nice little struts to be holding up the roof edge, things like that. But for right now, I'm happy with it. For right now, I have completed building a actual size build for the first time in I don't know how long, and that is an accomplishment to me. So I hope that you all like it as much as I do, because I'm really happy with how this turned out. So thank you everybody so much for hanging out with me today. If you had as much fun as I did, make sure you leave a like. If you're new around here and you want to see what I build around the terracotta and limestone farms, then hey, please subscribe. Take care, peeps. Doodles!